Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Live Charting, the show where you pick the tickers and we chart them out for you. I'm not going to waste any time tonight because we are hanging out with Sara Strat Sniper, and she has a lot of information to share with us. So, Sara, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for having me back.
Good
I'm glad
deal.
to be
Yeah,
here.
absolutely. Glad to have you. Everything been going well for you?
Yes. Just, living that mom struggle. But other than that, yeah.
Right on. Awesome. Well, I see you've got your chart on the SPY. Let's talk about it. Where are we at? Where are we headed? How you feeling? What are you thinking?
So the overall market is kind of at a weird point in time just because the correlation between SPY and QQQ is so very different. And if you follow the strat, we believe that we don't believe there really is only three candle types. There's an inside bar, an outside bar, and a directional bar. And so SPY, I can't show you the yearly chart, but SPY has become an outside year. And what that means is it took out 2021's high, and it also took out 2021's low. And so ever since January, when we failed 2021's high and we retraced 50% of 2021's candle in the yearly candle, we were expecting to become an outside year, and that level is 364.82. And so we just hit that a few weeks ago now. And so when that happens, that means that our yearly target has been hit. So our short objective has been met. And once that happens, that puts us at risk for an exhaustion reversal. So kind of now what we're looking for is, before I go further with the SPY, and the difference with QQQ is it did not take out 2021's high, and it only took out 2021's low. And according to the strat and what the target is for QQQ, it's much different. And QQQ could potentially go a lot lower. So we have a bit of a divergence going on where SPY hit its target on the year, but QQQ hasn't. So we're kind of being a bit cautious, but seeing what happened today in the market and how SPY went inside week and down, but didn't go anywhere, and that dip got bought up, it's kind of setting up for a bullish reversal for next week. So next week, what I want to see is a break above this week's high, and then breaking the lower high, the weekly lower high of 393. And that will give us sort of a weekly trend change, or if you're an ICT person, a market structure shift on the weekly time frame. And as long as we don't break below what we did this week, it might be, a very good time to add to your long-term holdings, or if you've been in cash for a while, it might be time to initiate a small position, kind of using this pivot low here as a stop. And that's pretty good, risk reward for a long-term holding. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now. So next week will tell a lot. We're kind of range bound right now. We're stuck between this low and this high, and we're just basically tightening up, right? Like if you go to the daily chart, you can see it pretty clearly. You have lower highs, and for the most part, you have higher lows. So we're just tightening up. So yeah, pretty excited about next week. So we will see what happens. We will play our actionable signals. And if you're a stratter and know the strat, you know that we are not going to get in until we break above 386.87. And that's the Rev strat, which is an inside bar, a 2 down, and then a 2 up, meaning we broke the previous week's high. So that will be our entry. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see if we get that actionable signal.
And what if price keeps kind of going sideways here between 386 and even 393? What if it never really breaks above 393 for a couple of weeks? Is that okay? I mean, eventually, of course, you want to see it gain 393 to establish that, kind of new uptrend. But what if it takes some time? What if it doesn't happen next week, I guess?
Well, and that's fine. And if this is a long-term hold for you, that's okay. But you still need to be protected. It can go sideways. But if you're playing options or something like that, you probably want to be playing leaps and giving yourself plenty of time. But if we break this low again, that would not be good. That would not be what we want to see. And we're currently an inside month still, but the month is green and the quarter is green as of right now. If we start trading below 376, that's going to change full time frame continuity, and then it's going to put us back to red candles, which also isn't a good thing. But I mean, as long as we don't break this low, it's okay if it goes sideways for a while. But I don't know. I don't think it did. And I just saw somebody posted in my room that they were like increasing the margin requirements for futures overnight on the CME. So that makes me like, what do they know? Because I remember all those limit down days, which were super fun, but they also increased margin back then. And I might be speaking with not too much information behind me, but somebody in my room said that they increased it, like they doubled it. So that always makes me like, what do they know? I don't know.
Yeah, the thought there being that we might experience some pretty gnarly volatility here shortly.
Yeah.
Got it. Interesting. Something to keep an eye on for sure. If anybody's watching right now in the chat knows a little bit about this, send us some links. I'd like to dig in on it. All right. Well, so thank you for covering the SPY. Before we keep on moving with everybody's requests, welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you all for being here. If you've seen the show before, you know the rules, how we do this. If you've never seen the show, let me talk you through them real quick. You will get to vote one ticker at a time, and you can vote for 3 names per ticker per round. You do have to pick 3 unique tickers. You cannot pick the same ticker 3 times, but you get to vote 3 times every single round. So we're going to try and get through as many of these names as we can for you in the next hour or so. And then last but not least, if you are not a TrendSpider user, during the show, we have Sarah's 35% discount code available to you if you're interested in giving the platform a try. So hit us up in the chat on YouTube and let us know if you'd like that code. We'll hook you up. All right, Sarah, we're going to get started here. The first ticker is Apple. Good old Apple.
Okay, so Apple's obviously looking good, looking strong. So this is kind of like what we like to see longer term is on the monthly chart, have we taken out an important pivot low? Because that's always our goal. Our goal is always to like trap people who have stops at obvious pivots. So we've done that. So we've made a lower low on the monthly compared to this low. And then we've started reversing. And then per the strat, our monthly actionable signal to go long is a break above 151.74. And if I were to like draw a weekly broadening formation, I wonder if I can just move these. There we go. We have lower lows on the weekly, which is good because when you make a lower low, that's what I was talking about with the SPY. Like we're at exhaustion risk because most people have their stops here and then big money tends to build positions under those stops. So this is what, and I've just started learning ICT as well. So I've loved it so far. We're blending strat and ICT, and I like to call it surgical strat because it just kind of gives you better entries and a bit earlier entries. So We've been playing with that and we've been having a lot of fun doing that. And then we also have slight higher highs. So we have a bit of a baby broadening formation. So it's looking good, like long term, but I would not personally want to enter this right now, what I would like to see on the weekly chart is a weekly pullback. So basically make a higher low compared to the recent low. So I'd like to see a pullback, and then, so in non-strat terms, basically a bull flag. So, and then enter long and hoping that this weekly reversal can trigger the monthly reversal at that 151.74 level.
In essence, what that would kind of create is an inverse head and shoulders. That's essentially how inverse head and shoulders patterns are formed, right? With that concept that we're taking out stops, big money building positions below those stops. When price comes back to test, big money holds the line, and price is able to continue.
Yeah, and you could make an inverse head and shoulders case here, although like the shoulders are quite deep compared to the head, but it's basically, it's the psychology is the same,
Yeah.
And today was a beautiful strat reversal, a 2 down, 2 up. So basically you go long right here and target that. And that was a beautiful strat trade. And you also have a daily broadening formation right here. And if you train your eyes to see these things, it's so, it transforms your trading so much, because people tend to want to buy breakouts and they tend to want to short support breaks, but you basically want to have the opposite approach to that, right? So you have a high, a low, a new high. So people who buy this breakout, that's not where you want to be buying, because then what happens? It makes a new low and then a new high. So with the strat and the actionable signals, we want to buy right here and sell right here. And then this has been amazing trading the past 3 days with actionable signals, because then you get this big shooter, and then we tell you to short right here and target here.
Right.
And then back again, flip it, reverse it on the long side, go long right here, target here. Not buying breakouts. You're buying the tops. So, but yeah, Apple's looking good for sure.
Cool. So we're really looking for that 151 level. We really want to gain that 151 level. Yeah. And then I guess from there, we're looking at 165-ish.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
166.
166.48. Yep. That's the strat target.
Got it. Cool. Let's keep moving. Next round is Tesla.
So Tesla is a double. It was the last time I looked. It was a double inside month.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's been tight for sure. Yeah, double inside. Crazy. So the move out of this can be pretty powerful.
Yep, it could. But this is not going to be a liked opinion. But
good.
I really want to take out these lows. So 540. But that'll happen if, so we're double inside month. So your range, your tightening range is this level. It's last month's candle, because this is an inside bar. This is an inside bar breakout play. So if you break to the upside, you can take it, and then you target, what is that, May's high, which is 955. And that's okay to do, because we have a new quarter. So we also have new time frame continuity. And so far it's green. The month is green and the quarter is green. But so that would be the long target if you break above 792. But if you break below 626, we are targeting here and here. And these pivots on the monthly being so close together, and also recently learning ICT strategies, that these are considered to be relative equal lows, which is where price will want to gravitate to generate liquidity.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually prefer it to the downside, but maybe it wants to give us some corrective activity first. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we just have to see. So that's your range. This is only what I'm watching right now as far as Tesla goes. So if you break above 792, you're targeting 955. If you break below 626, you're targeting 547, we'll say, and 540.
Yeah. So can we talk just a very quick minute about the move to the upside? If you get the move up and out from 792, and somebody decides that they want to take that trade in hopes of it getting up to 955, where should they be thinking about setting their stops? Where does the trade start going wrong for them?
Okay. So we use multiple time frame analysis. So on this weekly, you have double outside bars, and then this week is going to finish as an inside week. It's just gonna. There's no way that we're going to break last week's high or last week's low unless some crazy news comes out. So what we look to do is, I've started calling them domino effect trades, which basically means one time frame can trigger the next. So what people should be looking for, and honestly, Tesla, this chart should have no bias, bull or bear, at this point in time. Where your bias should come from is the direction that this inside week breaks. So next week, when we open, if you break the high of this week, that is a potential early strat entry. And what the goal is here is, you say, like, in your head, if this inside week breaks to the upside, can that trigger my monthly inside bar? And so that's what you want to see happen. So next week, you can take an early entry at 759, hoping that this weekly inside bar triggers the monthly. So that's the domino effect, right? So you have the monthly triggering, you have the weekly triggering the monthly. And then we even go down farther than that and we look at the daily, and we'll go, can this daily trigger the weekly that can trigger the monthly? And that is like primo trading. And Tesla's been amazing trading this week. Like, it's been awesome. But so that's what you'll want to do. And since we know about outside bars and that there's only 3 kinds of bars, if the weekly triggers to the upside but starts to fail, you would want to have your stop in the middle of this candle, because we know how outside bars happen. So they break one side of the range, start to fail, fall through. If they retrace 50% of the previous candle, it's very, very, very likely that we're going to go and take out the other side. So you don't want to have your stop way down here when you know you can just put it at 50% of this candle and be more protective.
Got it. And I guess the last question is for somebody who's thinking much more short term, talking day trader, in and out in half an hour. Can they use these same sort of concepts with the 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute? Like, is that a thing?
So tomorrow, Tesla is set up for a long. You have an outside bar from yesterday. Today was an inside bar. So the strat setup here, if you're looking for a Lotto Friday, is enter on a break above 716, and your target is 726. And these work on every time frame. So you are trading against the continuity of the week, but that's okay if it's just a little day trade,
Yeah.
If you're a day trader, you want to be trading in the direction and color of the daily candle.
Got it. Cool. All right, let's keep moving then. Amazon.
Okay. So still trading. This is just a very tight range. Because we are an inside month, we're currently trading as an inside month. And on the weekly, you basically just have this tightening range, right? So like relative high, relative low, and then it's just kind of ping-ponging in between here. But it's quite good that we broke the inside week to the downside and didn't fall apart. So this is another like Lotto Friday trade if you wanted to take it. Maybe we even go outside bar. Jason, is there a way to like click a button and clone? Oh,
yep,
never mind.
right there.
Got it. Okay. So this would be a really good Lotto Friday play too, because you also have an inside day. So if you have an inside day and up break, so above 111.19, you have all these pivots, and we kind of call this like a pivot machine gun, which is a series of consecutive lower highs. Or if you're playing to the bearish side, you have consecutive higher lows like you do here on the way up. So tomorrow, if you were to trade this, target one sucks. It's like 60 cents. But target two would be there. So that's like what we do. So we day trade a lot, you know, some people swing trade, but we really like day trades because we don't we like control, and we like to know exactly why we're entering, where we're exiting, and why. And so, and if you think about this logically, you know, even if you don't have like much trading knowledge at all, just think about it logically. We broke last week's lows and the bears were not here. They did not show up. So what does that do? It bodes well for the other side. And it's handing you a setup, an inside bar, which is a consolidation on a smaller time frame. So we want to take advantage of that, and we want to go long above 111, and we're targeting 113. Maybe it gets up here to 114, but hey, Lotto Fridays are fun because the options are cheap.
Right.
But like I said, you got this really tightening range. So it might not even break next week, but you have a low, a high, a higher low, lower high, higher low. So it's just tightening up. So we don't have.
A lot of these names are setting up pre-earnings. I think earnings are going to be the thing that pops them up and out or down and out of their ranges. Tesla's the same deal. All right.
I have my earnings on the count.
Always good to know where they are.
Yeah.
I think Amazon's in the next couple of days, I believe. Yep. Like 2 or 3 sessions next week, early next week.
Oh, and Tesla's is next week too.
Yep.
Amazon is in like 2 weeks or so.
28th.
Yeah. 25th.
25th. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, let's keep moving. MNST, Monster Beverage. This name I don't think it's ever come up.
I haven't looked at this name in so long, so I'm so curious to see. Is it like, before I look, is it like $30?
No, not even close.
Wow. I'm very surprised. Wow.
It's not a bad looking chart there.
No, but it's also not very great looking either.
Right.
Because when we get to all-time highs, people get so excited and want to buy that breakout, but that's always the top, right? Like on almost every chart, like PayPal, Roku, AFRM, like every time you hit a new all-time high, that's it. That's what we call exhaustion risk. Like you have no more shorts to be long against. So it really only has another like $2 to go before it's completely exhausted. It might hit like 100 psychological, but we are not like I won't touch a chart like this. Like once it gets to all-time highs, I don't care about it because that's not part of my trade plan. I have to have entry, stop, target. If I don't have a target, then I don't have a trade. So yes, it's strong, but once it hits, 100, then what? Then it'll probably fall apart. But if you're in it, just be protective. You obviously have a nice daily uptrend, and I would make sure that your stops are placed below the uptrend. So like in this example, the low is 95.34. So I would have my stop here, and you can keep walking it up as long as it's still good. Just because I wouldn't initiate a position up here doesn't mean that it doesn't have a healthy uptrend. So just keep walking your stops up. But if you get a market structure shift and you start going from higher lows to lower lows, that's not good. And you're getting real close to that point. So just be protective. It was all I have to say about this chart, really.
Got it. Cool. Good enough for me. Let's keep moving then. N phase, ENPH.
Is that a weed? Nope, energy.
No, energy.
I wish upon a star that we had quarterly charts.
Yeah. Another tricky one.
It really is. And usually what I tell people with tricky charts is find something better.
Yeah.
I mean, if this is like a long-term thing, it's like holding sort of higher lows. I just don't like this chart.
That's fine. I mean, I think that's a valuable lesson, honestly. If it doesn't make sense to you, why would you trade it? Are you trading it just because the hype, like it's, yeah, sure, it's strong, but if you can't read it, why would you trade it? That makes no sense.
It's also kind of very sideways. Like,
yeah, right.
There's a lot of price action right here. It just likes to kind of gravitate towards this level.
Right.
Yeah, this one's tricky. What is this? July 1, April, May, June. So I'm trying to make my own quarterly charts in my head. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm with it.
All right, so that's April, May, June. January, February, March. Whoop.
So two up last quarter.
Yeah, it is a 2 up last quarter. Currently we're trading, inside there. I don't know. It just looks tired, like wick. I just don't see a lot of energy in this name.
Yeah.
But if you are in this name for whatever reason, you do have like a weekly uptrend. So if you are holding this for whatever reason, I don't know what the reason might be. If you have to hold it, if it's like part of your IRA, I don't know. But if you break below 167.23, I would want to bounce.
Right.
Yeah, this chart's just not. If I have to look at a chart that long, I would just say don't trade it.
Yeah. Okay, like, really. Cool. Yeah, I'm with that. Let's keep on moving then. Next round is NVDA.
Sorry, my OCD won't let me continue till I clear all the drawings.
It's all good.
Okay. NVDA. May, March 21. I'm trying to find January. Oh, it's hard without it. Okay, so the monthly is green. We're 2 down on the week. The 50% rule might be coming into force soon. We are at fresh lows. I kind of like this for a broadening formation play. So like you have a higher high, and then on the bottom, we have a lower low. And we also have setting up an inside week. And most, I mean, like most things are kind of inside week this week, but I like this. If next week you can break above this week's high. So if you can break above 155.27, that's not what I wanted. You're gonna target this candle and then this candle. So yeah, I kind of like it. And then we got half the month left. So if we can go inside week and up and then take out these 2 pivots and break above 50% of last month's candle, that's going to put us at the 50% roll, which again means we would expect an outside bar on the monthly. And for that to happen, we have to break above 173, and then our target would be this 196.19 to become an outside month. So yeah, I like it long for next week.
Got it. What do you do in the instance of price breaks that 50% retrace and then fails? How do you protect yourself in that case?
So what I do is I look for daily actionable signals. So just because like say the 50% is right here at 170, well, it is at 172.41. I will look for daily strat setups. And people might be like, well, what does that mean? So I might want to see, I'll want to see something like this. So I'll want to see a 2 down candle somewhere near this 50% mark. Doesn't have to be exactly at it. It could be a little bit under it, and it might not give it to me until a little bit above it, which is fine. But we're always using multiple time frame analysis. So here's the range, this yellowish range, that is the range to become an outside month. So that happens up here. So I'll want to look for actionable signals on the daily time frame. I don't just want to enter blindly at the 50% retracement of last month's candle. I want to wait for an actionable signal because again, I want to be in control of my trade. So I want to see a 2 down, meaning we broke the previous candle's low. We had corrective activity. We had a pullback. I don't want to get stuck in corrective activity as a bull. So I want to wait for it to happen. And then I want to enter when this candle opens and we trigger above that candle. And then I'm in, I'm good. And then even though I'm using the monthly time frame, my stop comes from the daily. So I might enter right here at like 165, but my stop is halfway through this candle at 161, but I'm targeting 196. So the risk reward is amazing.
Right.
So that's how we take advantage of the multiple time frames, the candles, all of that stuff. So yeah, it's looking good. The video's looking good.
Got it. Awesome. Let's keep moving then. SQ.
Wah, wah, wah. Oof.
Yeah, pretty rough, huh?
Yeah. 20. So hard to visualize yearly candles. That's what I'm trying to do right now. Hold on.
Got it.
January 2021. Oh my God, I'm very bad at this. I am not not used to having to do this. Okay. Well, anyway. Gosh, I want to hold on.
If I could
So
take over.
we took out that pivot low. That's not even a pivot though. It's just we took out this target. I mean,
right.
Man, some charts I can look at them in a second and tell you what I think, and some charts I can't. It's still just not looking great. We've got double inside, we have an outside bar, and then we have double inside weeks.
They've also got earnings here in like maybe a couple of weeks, I believe. August 4th, I think maybe.
Wouldn't that be wild if we took
back to 32?
Yeah, that would be wild.
You got to figure there's lots of stuff. Yeah, there's lots of stops there.
There really is. Yeah, that's what I was just looking at. This is a pivot machine gun on the weekly.
It's definitely probably an unpopular opinion. But
I have a lot of those though.
Square at 32, nobody would want to touch it, which is why it would probably be the time to be buying it. Everybody would be, Square's dead, it's over, Square's done.
Well, even like PayPal, like I wish somebody would ask to talk about PayPal. Like
throw it up. Throw it up. Let's talk about it.
Square's just in the middle. I don't even know what to say about this one. But
I mean, this looks like a progressed version of the Square chart. It looks like just a couple months later. That's what it looks like to me.
That's exactly what it looks like. That's why we were talking about that 32 level. Like it took out all these pivots, right?
Yep.
So, and here's what I was talking about when people want to buy a new all-time high. That's what happened. When you hit a new all-time high, that was the top. So when people want to buy at a new all-time high, or the IWM, same thing happened with IWM. We hit a new all-time high and that was the top. That's where you want to be taking profit. And then you have all these monthly pivots that it's just been crushing.
Right.
Here. And that's where price goes. And that's like what I love about the strat is it's like, for me, it's like debunked support as like a thing. Like support's never support. It always gets taken out. And look where it did get taken out. We don't have any more support
for a while.
Like $39. Like,
right.
So I'm actually kind of looking for a reversal in PayPal.
Yeah.
And we've got not double inside weeks, but same thing with SPY. If we can break above last week's high, or if we can break above this week's high next week, I will be looking for a long, because we took out all these pivots. And when you have pivot lows like this, so close together, it's a magnet for price. And we come and we take them all out, and then we're at exhaustion risk. So then we will look for reversals. This is actually a candidate for my swing trade list. So we'll see what happens.
Interesting. And they've got earnings in like 2-3 weeks.
Looks like 3.
Yeah. August 1st. Yeah. Or the week of August 1st. Interesting. Yeah.
Comparing that chart to PayPal. Yeah. It looks like, we want to come all the way. That's where it looks like it wants to go.
It is. It totally is. Well, time will tell, I suppose. Let's keep moving. Baba.
Oof.
Ooh, right. It sold off quite a bit today. Interesting. Now it's getting spicy.
It is. So it's a potential for the outside month. So what that means is we took out the highs. So if you were long, that was your target to exit the position. And then once that happens, once we hit our target, that's when we're at risk for an exhaustion reversal. And clear as day, you can see you had a 2 up last week, and then a strat reversal would be a 2 down. We got it. We actually hit target 1. Target 2 is this pivot low here. But on the monthly, so the 50% rule is in force. And what that means is by the end of the month, we are targeting last month's lows, which is 91.86. So, yep, that is that. But we've had no corrective activity on the daily. Right. So before I would enter this, I would want to see basically a bear flag. So like a 2 up. Yep. I don't want to do anything with the 2 up. But then the following day, if we get a 2 down, I would want to short. Got it.
That's what I love about this style. I mean, like you are thinking 4 moves ahead of everything. And you're not, it takes all of the pressure of like, should I get in right now? Out of it, right? Because you can't, because you have to wait for everything to kind of set up.
Yep.
All right, let's keep moving. OLLI, Ollie's bargain something or another. Bargain outlet.
Why is that funny to me?
I don't
know. This is very ugly chart.
It is.
But okay. So the first thing I see when I look at the monthly is basically a broadening formation. That happened. We made higher highs and lower lows, except we held here. And you got a monthly reversal. So currently price is gravitating towards not there. But the weekly looks like crap. So for this week, there's no long positions. What might happen is next week you might get, can't draw so well. You might, why can't I, whoop. Hold on. What I would like to see next week, let's see if I can do this a little bit better. So next week, you might want to see a 2 down, so some corrective activity, because the breakout this week failed. And then the following week, you can enter on a 2 up, and then you're targeting that 75.27 level. That's what I want to see in a perfect trade. But hopefully next week, it doesn't just come crashing down, because you do have a pivot machine gun. And what that means is you have all these weeks of just higher lows, and there really hasn't been any support built along the way, or any pullbacks, or anywhere for anybody to get in who wanted to be long. So next week I would sit out. The following week, if we got, a 2 up, I would want to be in it targeting 75.
Got it. Cool. I'm with it. Let's keep moving. Next round, AMD.
This is an amazing one. I'm so glad somebody brought this one up.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Okay, good. So what do we have? We have what we want as stratters, what we look for. We broke major support. So that was our downside target, was this pivot here on the monthly, which was 72.50. I remember it because we've been talking about it all the time. So we took out this pivot, this pivot, this pivot, this pivot with this month. So that's good. So that sets us up for an exhaustion reversal. So same thing, like I keep saying, we want a reversal, a strat reversal after we've hit exhaustion, meaning our downside target. So next week, this is definitely going to be part of our swing trade setups in my room, but we definitely want to play this long because we're exhausted. And this is going to be, I don't know if people want to long-term hold this or whatever, but it's going to take some weeks to play out. But basically the like main objective target is going to be this 109.50. So this looks really good.
It's a huge move. And you're really well protected considering you got a $6 stop below and $30 target above.
Even if you wanted to be loose with your target, with your stop should be at 74 or 43. If you wanted to be tighter with it, I would move it halfway through. But if this is a swing trade, you kind of tend to not want to choke them out, but we don't want outside bars to happen on us. We expect this to go next week. If it stays an inside bar this week, we expect it to basically just blast off. And then we can put our stop much closer.
Right.
Yeah, this is a great one.
Interesting. It is on the radar now. Let's keep moving. Yes. TAP, T-A-P.
I don't know that ticker.
It's of course.
Oh, beer. That's funny. It had a good week this week.
Kind of seems like it's coming into a tight spot.
Yeah. And I don't typically draw like downtrending lines, but
worth it to see it.
Yeah.
Why don't you typically draw downtrending lines?
I mean, I just don't. I know in my mind that that's a target and that's a target, but I don't use them for like setups. But the only thing I don't like about this on the weekly is it's pretty much exhausted for the time being because we just made new highs.
Right.
And the strat setup played out beautifully this week. So a break above the inside week and targeting here. And that played out really nice. But now it's kind of like time for maybe a rest. But the daily chart still looks good because you gap down, they bought it up. So you're basically going to target 61.48. That's the next goal. So it still looks good.
You guys have been talking a lot about fair value gaps lately. Kind of looks like a weekly fair value gap there 4 candles ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, right in there.
Yeah.
If you get a pullback, you might be looking for somewhere in there.
Yep. Good call. Good call. Especially with being at the top of this daily or weekly broadening formation. Yeah, for sure.
Right. Cool.
Because you got that lower low like that.
Right.
Yep. I didn't know you were learning about the fair value gaps.
Oh, I mean, I'm learning about all kinds of things, Sarah. I talk to so many traders. Everybody's got different strategies. So I have to know a little bit about everything.
That's good.
Next one, BJ. It's a wholesale place, Sarah.
Of course it is.
Wholesale. I wonder if does somebody who shops at BJ's also shop at OLLI's? I would. It's like the same product.
So the first thing I notice is consecutive monthly lower lows. So that means we're exhausted. So then you would look for a strat reversal. So a 2 down, a 1, and then a 2 up. So that was the entry this month, was a break above 66.90. And you're targeting 71.
Nice how it pulled right back to it on the daily too. Super clean.
Yep. And you know what I noticed, Jason, is it does that to not create a fair value gap. It's
Yeah.
trying to avoid creating a fair value gap.
Right.
So that's often why price will retest the breakout area. So yeah. So it's going good. They're definitely buying this on the daily. Daily, had an outside bar, which didn't shake anybody out. And that's what they're meant to do. They're meant to shake people out, but they're buying. So target 1 is 71, and then target 2 is a new all-time high at 74.
And then
And
sell
then
that
after
thing.
that, I don't know.
Yeah. Got it. Okay, cool. Next round, Qualcomm, QCOM.
This looks just like AMD. So, except without the weekly setup for you next week, because the setup was this week.
Yep.
So just like AMD, you have a lower low here, and then you have a lower low here. So you're exhausted to the downside. So then what? So then go to a smaller time frame and look for a reversal on the weekly. The reversal on the weekly was this 2 down, 2 up. So you enter right here, and we are targeting this pivot high here, which is also the monthly reversal. So this looks good. Holy cow, this daily candle.
It's a big one.
That is a big one.
You kind of expect them to come back into that 136 level. Like
Yeah,
that would be your primo little buy area. 136 back to 146 day trade, $10. That'd be sweet.
Yep.
Cool. I'm going to move a little bit faster, Sarah. We got 10 more minutes left, so jam through as many as we can. LABU, LABU.
So if I'm not mistaken, you should be charting XBI, not LABU. But
yeah, because this is the 3X.
Yeah. So I would actually prefer to chart XBI because I want to show people something.
Do it.
So just like AMD, just like the last one we looked at, what do you have on the monthly? You have a lower low here, you have a lower low here. So it took out its objective. So it is looking for a reversal now. And on the weekly, you got it here on this 2 down, 2 up. And then that triggered the monthly inside bar and up. So XBI, LABU, whatever you're playing, that's great. And I don't think, so the target technically is up here at 97. And I don't know if it's going to hit that this month, and it might take another month because that's kind of a big candle. I mean, it can happen though, especially if we get a reversal in the market. But yeah, right. That's your target. So let's see. So that's April's high. So let's go back to LABU. Okay, so it's the same. So it's the same for LABU. So you're still targeting April's high. But do you see how this doesn't have as much, like, I don't know, it just doesn't look as good because it's the 3X ETF.
It's quite more volatile looking.
Yeah, but it's
that's
still
what you would expect.
The same thing.
Yeah.
You see how it like traded along the bottom of this broadening formation?
Right.
And you will see this was not an inside month and up, but the long trigger was there and the long target
we're there now.
Yeah. Well, we hit it last week. Yeah.
Right.
Or almost. The high was 88 and we hit 82. But yeah, but if you are trading LABU, you really should be, if you're trading LABU, you really should be charting XBI.
Got it. Shopify?
Isn't that the one that like is trading
400 to $30?
Yeah.
That's the one. Looks kind of like Square.
Yeah. So it took out that pivot. I would really like to see it
Might as well, right?
take out that pivot. Yeah, it might as well. And it looks like we're going to
$2.
next week.
Yeah, it's $2.
We will. Yeah, so next week, if you break below this inside weekend down, you're targeting 28, 21. And then once that pivot's taken out, we don't have any more pivots till all the way down here. So it's a very good likelihood that you're going to see a reversal right around this area.
Yep.
And you also have had no corrective activity on the monthly, which means there's been no bear flags. It's just been a straight down waterfall. So once, you know, the big dogs come and grab this liquidity, you're probably going to get a good bounce, at least maybe up to like 49, maybe, if you get it. You got to wait and see what the charts do. But yeah, definitely we're going to come here and then we'll probably get a reversal bounce.
Interesting. One to keep our eye on for sure. I kind of like that idea a lot.
Yeah.
All right. AAL, American Airlines.
Those are just like, oh, because BA.
Yeah, BA ripped the other day.
I know.
It gave a really nice re-entry though. Once it ripped, it came right back to where it broke out from. We were talking about it.
So, I mean, yeah, so we took out a monthly pivot low. We took out a monthly pivot high. So like here's kind of like the trading range. It came and filled this fair value gap. Do you see that? It's trying not to leave one.
Yep.
On the monthly. That's kind of funny.
Yep.
So BA and AAL look like a lot different. Like
they do.
BA actually took out like an important pivot like this one, where this one hasn't. The weekly and the daily look very weak to me still. But it kind of depends on what BA does, I guess. But BA was very strong and very good. And I would actually, I would like to talk about that one next, about the domino effect trading, because we had that set up on watch because the daily triggered the weekly, which triggered the monthly. So it was really awesome. But yeah.
I mean, if you want to go over it real quick, let's do it.
So next week though, for AAL, if you get a break below 1331, this probably isn't done going down. And you're going to target that pivot low first. And then on the monthly, you're going to target that one.
Got it.
So be careful.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I gotta remove all. And then BA was so awesome. Because, all right, so starting at the monthly, like I always do, we made a lower low. So we took out that stop. All right. Then we had a weekly strat set up. This was on the weekly focus list for my room. So a break above 142 and a weekly target of not that. Like my magnet's not clicking. I don't know why. All right, so whatever. Then, so we had this weekly setup, which was a 2 down that went nowhere. So the bears are not here. So it's bull's turn. So we had a daily reversal. So that's a 2 down. So basically, you know, a bull flag. You had this corrective activity. So we were looking to get long at 139, hoping we would target the week at 142, which if you look at the middle, that's last week's high. Right. So the daily to trigger the weekly, which then if you look all the way over here, last month's high was 146.97. And never did I think we would do all that in one day, but it did.
Interesting.
And it was beautiful.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's that domino effect that I talk about. and why they're so powerful, because you have the day traders, you have the weekly traders who like only trade the weekly time frame, and then you have
Right.
the monthly time frame traders who only trade that. So you have every participation group on your side, and every reason to believe that that's going to work. And it worked, and it worked hard. So
Got it. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Interesting.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Sarah, so we are at an hour here. We've done 18 tickers. You want to do like one or two more and then jump?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Cost, COST.
Everybody's been talking about this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And there's a strat reason for it on the monthly, at least,
Inside
and
out.
the daily. All right, so we have that pivot low. We made a new pivot low. So we already know we're exhausted temporarily. So we're going to look for a monthly signal. So the monthly strat signal is along above 491. Okay, this is as good as it gets. You get a pullback. Okay, you get a daily strat setup, which is this 2 down, 2 up. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I wish I should have had the strat combo sheet pulled up. I can do it really fast. Hold on.
Do it. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say 2 down, 2 up, 3 1 2, 2 1 2, so they're just candle types. Like I said, there's an inside bar, which is a 1, there's an outside bar, which is a 3, and there's a directional bar, which is a 2. So strat reversals are anything on this sheet. So if you're bullish, you want to be looking at the left side of this chart. And it's a 2-pager, but whatever. So a 2 down, 2 up reversal is an actionable strat signal. So when you have an actionable strat signal and you have the monthly in force, you want to take this. And what it means is, just like on the sheet, we go long above the 2 downs high, and we're targeting the next candle to the left's high. So that's the entry at 497, and we're above the monthly actionable signal, which we know is exhausted because we made a lower low. So we're above the actionable signal at 491. So we're above that. So this is good. So that's where we look for entries. So the trigger is 497, and then target 1 is that candle, and then target 2 is that candle. And then if there's nothing left and it keeps going, go to the weekly and grab whatever candle's high you see next at 510, and you'll see we hit it. So we hit 1, 2, 3 targets. And
so are we exhaustion risk here?
Yes. And the reason I say that is because we took out like a pivot high here on the daily. But it could keep going, but it did, if it does keep going, it like made a big giant fair value gap right here.
Yeah, right.
Which you might want to come and refill, but you can continue to look for daily actionable signals like this. So wait for pullbacks and then enter when you finally break a previous day's high, because you have the monthly signal still in force. So the monthly signal is to target for 546, and you have all month to do that. So, which is just right here. But yeah, just keep waiting for pullbacks on the daily, and then just do it like this. Get in here, make sure your stop is like half of the candle you're targeting here. You can exit all if you want, wait for more pullback further in the month, and then keep doing it. But the target is 546. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Last one then. MDB, MongoDB.
Ugh. MDB. So this one is failing its monthly signal. So we do have a monthly lower low. So was, an exhaustion potential for a reversal. But it's no longer in force on the monthly, and this looks bearish. So basically, yeah, so we might become an outside month because we failed the breakout. And if next week, if you get an inside week and down, very bearish, and you're going to target 231.34 to become an outside month. And then if it keeps going, you would target the recent low lows. And this is why the strat is great, because we know what our actionable signals is, and we know that it's only actionable if it's above that level. So if it's below 313, we don't want to be in it, right, because it's no longer actionable. So we just want to be out of it. And, people, seem to think that the strat works all the time, and, we don't ever have losers. And that's not what it is. It's just, we know when to cut it much faster.
Right.
Because when this week opened and we opened below the trigger, it's already dead to me. I'm done, because that's not what I wanted to see. And we know what we want.
Right. Awesome, Sarah. Well, you are a wealth of knowledge and have given us a lot to think about. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Where can the people find you if they want to learn more about the strat, or want to get more assistance from you with how to read the charts the way that you do?
Yeah. So my Twitter is where I grew up. I wasn't anybody, a few years ago, but you can follow me on Twitter at TrendSpider Sarah. And I did just start a service with my trading friend Alex, and that is stratalerts.com. Check it out. We did just host an open house, which was so fun, and it was such a good day to do it. And Tesla murdered, but it was hard. We had 600 people on the live. We were on there for 4 hours, but come check us out. And that's about. I have a YouTube channel, which the link is in my bio. So the strat is taught for free. You can learn it for free. I have a playlist called Stratucation, and that's basically all the strat principles. So full time frame continuity, broadening formations, exhaustion risk, strat setups, multiple time frame analysis, all the things. So you can learn it for free. And I do recommend everybody go, and if you're interested, definitely watch this playlist, because it is out here for free. You don't need to pay for my service to learn the strat.
Right.
Whatsoever. The information is out there. People come to my service because, maybe they don't have time to, find setups at night, or, they're at a day job all day and they don't know when things are triggering. So we kind of help with alerts, and, maybe their trade plan is messed up and they don't know where they need tweaking. So, we help with those kinds of things. But literally, to learn the strat, it is free. So I definitely implore people, if they want to become a full-time trader, trade the price. Fundamentals, they're trash. Sorry if that makes people mad, but it is what it is. Price is king. You trade the chart. You don't, marry these fundamentals. It'll get you into trouble. So.
Right on, Sarah. Well, again, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. We really do appreciate it. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Hopefully this was informative for you guys. We are going to be taking a brief sabbatical next week from these live charting shows, but we'll be back week after next. We're going to be hanging out with Jake Wujastic. He's going to be doing the chart requests with us. So please tune in for that. Hope you guys have a great rest of your trading week. Hope you have a great weekend. And again, Sarah, thank you for being here. We really do appreciate it so much.
Yeah, I love it. Anytime you guys can have me.
Right on. Well, have a great night. And everybody watching, have a great night. We'll see you guys soon.